You're listening to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast with your hosts, Chad and Dale.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
This is episode 284, and this one is locker cleanout day, baby. Everybody's gone.
Oh God. How fast are they out of that? Like they were all done by like noon, right? Like gone, vanished, disappearing act from Toronto, Ontario. Gone. Where do you think half of those dudes are right now? On a beach somewhere or on their way to a beach somewhere?
Probably wherever they go for the summer. Like I would, if I had a summer cottage somewhere, I'd be there.
Well, are you not doing straight vacay immediately? Like just out of here for like 2 weeks?
No.
Oh,
I would go to a cottage in the middle of nowhere and I would just decompress.
Chad, I would be in a pool, like swim up bar, unlimited margaritas.
All right.
That's where I would be. And I bet you some of those cats are doing that right now as we speak. Anyway, just backtracking quickly to game 7, game 5, game 7, whatever. Like I kind of just no balls, no heart, no passion. And today, no accountability. What a big surprise. Locker room clean out day for the Toronto Maple Leafs after another disappointing 7th game loss. Like maybe you're surprised to see us this early, but here we are again. And we'll be back. Pop a little one on here about some few things from locker room clean out day. And then we'll be back for another one before the weekends when the management speaks. Tree Living and the head of Rogers, Pelly, whatever his role is, and then Shanny, if Shanny's even there, we don't know. We don't know. We should find out within by the end of the week. So we'll be back for another one once they speak. But I just thought we should come on here today quickly. What'd you see? Anything from today that caught your ear or caught your interest in like a different anything different, Chad? Or what are we talking about here, brother?
It was basically all the same. Like you could run any of the interviews from years past. The only one that I thought was a little different was Mitch. And I think that's because mentally he's checked out of town. But other than that, I don't know. In years past, we've done this podcast after locker cleanout day, and I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Because they don't take accountability. They don't. But now, just like after game 7, how I was kind of expecting it, I was expecting this today.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly how it's supposed to go.
Expecting it is one thing, and that's fine. I was expecting it too, but it's still not the right thing. It's still not the right message.
Not. But how I just can't be mad about it anymore.
No, can't be mad. No, of course.
I'm just done with it. I'm like, whatever.
I hear you. But like, let's be clear here, just to, backtracking to the series and how it ultimately played out before we get into some individual guys here. Let's be clear. It's not that they lost. It's how. It's how they lost. And that's what drives the fans crazy, man. That you hear the Florida comments after the game about the pressure and all that, right? Like, look, the whole thing
trolling the Leafs.
The whole thing is, and we've said this for years, Chad, after they bowed out in the playoffs in like disastrous fucking fashion year after year after year after year. Like the fan base is so, it's not that they lost like another game 7. It's actually, yes, it is that. That's exactly what it is. After another one and another one.
Yeah.
And the years have piled up to, that's why you get the jerseys tossed. That's why you get the beers tossed. I'm surprised there wasn't any waffles in the fucking building on Sunday night. But like, this is the frustration of the fan base. And I'm sorry, man. Like these guys seem like all the fans want is like some grinders. Play with fucking passion. Show up. Like you lose 2-1 in overtime or even in regulation. Okay. We'll be like, man, they fought Florida right to the fucking end. That's not what happened. And that's why, like, if none of these guys and the organization as a whole can't see that, like, does it look to you like they can see that or no?
They don't come across that way. when they do their interviews. They don't come across that any of that really gets to them. But I know that they see it. There's no way, like, they're professional athletes. There's no way they look at game 5 and game 7 and think, yeah, that was fine.
No, Chad. I mean, like, can these guys, the guys that have been there for
No, I know what
can
you're saying.
Can they grasp the fact of why the fans are like, what are we do? What is this?
Yeah, they can grasp why the fans are mad. They're never going to take responsibility for it, but they know. But what I mean about game 5 and game 7 is that even today, like, they don't look back at the past. They don't talk about how it's been a long haul. They same things, right? Well, we took them to 7 games, or the Stanley Cup champions, all the same cliches that they use year after year. But why not come out and say, look, we had them. We were terrible in game 5. We were terrible in game 7. That will never happen again. Like, why didn't the captain say something like that? We are sorry for the performance we had in game 7. That will never happen again on my watch.
The fan base, I don't understand it. The fan base is begging for honesty. Someone come out and be honest to us. Just tell the truth. Like, just be honest. Don't there's no sugarcoating here anymore. Just come out and say, like,
they're not sugarcoating it for the fans. They're sugarcoating it for themselves. They're protecting themselves.
That's worse.
We all watched the game. They know they were terrible in game 7.
But why not just again, like, I can't believe we're doing this again, but, like, why not
one apology to the fans for game 7?
Well, like, I don't even need an apology. Just someone step up to the goddamn microphone and own it.
Yeah.
Like, really,
what I mean.
Really, like, own it.
No one stepped up and owned it. No one showed any sympathy for the fans. No one stood up and said, look, there were jerseys thrown on the ice. We understand. Like, we deserve that for our performance, and we're sorry. And I guarantee you we'll be better next year and we'll be ready to go. Nothing like that.
Not even close.
It's the same. We tried hard. We gave it our all. We took them to 7 games. Yada, 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 yada.
So these guys, okay, look, so we'll go to the locker room cleanout here. The management, like we said off the top, going to speak later this week.
That's the one I want to hear.
So let's wait on Shanny and on Tree Living and just stick to the players and the coach for this one, okay? Like, we'll wait for Tree and for Shanny later in the week, and we'll dive into that as well. But individual guys, like, just, to me, it's tone deaf. The overall theme of these guys, locker room cleanout year after year, and I heard it again today.
Yeah,
they are completely tone deaf to the fan base. Like, no real explanation, like you kind of were just saying, no real explanation for game 5, game 7. The coach didn't have one. The players don't have one. So, like, you don't have an explanation, that's fine. But, like, throw something out there that gives the fans a little bit of, like, okay, like, maybe that's why they didn't do it. Maybe that's why they couldn't do it, or whatever. It was so much more of the same. I'm just like, they're tone deaf. They are tone deaf to the fucking largest fan base in hockey.
I don't think it's that they're tone deaf. There's only one answer. And the answer is that we can't do it. Like, we have too many of the same type of player on this team, and we can't, and they're never going to come out and say that. Okay. They're never going to come out and say that. So if they're not going to say that, what are they supposed to say? What's the reason they lost again in game 7?
Well, lie
injuries.
A little. Okay, no, but, like,
if
lie
they
a
say
little
anything,
bit,
you're going to be like, excuses.
I would love some honesty instead of excuses. But, like, what I mean by tone deaf is that just they can't seem to read the fucking fan base. The fan base wants answers. They're sick of it. We are up to here, fucking sick of it.
I know. Like, that's what I meant off the top, though. You knew this was coming.
I know.
So, like, they didn't give answers last year. They didn't give answers the year before.
No,
They've never taken responsibility.
I know.
Even when they blew the series to Montreal, up 3-1, they never took accountability for that.
I know. Which is.
So what do you expect?
I just, no, it's not that I expect anything. I just think they are tone deaf to the fan base. Like, they don't see what the fans see and if they do, like, I don't think they see or feel what the fans see and feel.
That's partly, yeah, it's their fault, but their PR department has got to
Right.
be better than that.
Oh, the
Like their
worst.
PR department should have come up with something for them to say. Like someone should have went to them and been like, look, you have to talk about how you like the pressure here because the whole Florida fucking throwing this shade on you.
Yep.
You had to go at that and then talk about that you not even apologize to the fans, but like you say, show some accountability, that you realize that the fans were in the right to be pissed off after game 7.
But isn't that a scary thing in its own, Chad, that like they would need their PR people to tell them how
PR
to
people tell you what to say on these days.
I get that, but like real emotion, you know what I mean? The
Yeah, it would have
PR
been nice to see someone.
PR shouldn't have to tell you how you really fucking feel about it. Just tell us how you really fucking feel. The passengers comment. We'll get into Austin and like the other night after the game, whatever. Like, yeah, you were leading the charge, bud, as one of the main fucking passengers. Like, what does he think he gets off the hook because he scored the fucking game winner in game 6?
I cannot believe he didn't follow that comment up with me included.
Me included.
Yeah, had he said that, like there were a lot of passengers, me included in this game.
Throwing the boys under the bus.
Like a lot of passengers. It's like, yeah, man,
yeah,
you had no goals, no assists, and you were a -3 in this game.
God.
So that was a terrible comment. But just from locker cleanout day, it was the same cliches. I didn't really care because I'm like, I'm done with this core. I'm literally at the end with it. I can't do it anymore. And then the thing that kind of scared me was after Mitch talked, I thought Mitch did really well. And then Berube talking about how he loved having Mitch. Then all of a sudden there was this tiny bit of chatter about bringing Mitch back. And I was like, don't go down this road. This is your chance to walk away and start fresh from something.
Let's start with Berube, okay? So some of his, I don't have the actual quotes and whatever. I'm just going to paraphrase all along here. But to me, that seemed like a head coach who was first-year head coach, not aware of the just lack of success over the last 7-8 years. He was like, love the team, love the group, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's in their heads, whatever. Okay, well, no fucking kidding. It's in, like, the scars are deep here, brother. The scars are fucking deep. Clearly, there's a mental aspect to this. Everybody knows that. You can't lose over and over and over and over and over without it be affecting you mentally. It's just not possible as a human being. It's not possible. So it affects us as a fan base. How is it not affecting the guys on the fucking ice? Clearly, the mental aspect is there. But Berube's comments overall of like, love Mitch Marner, like you were saying, Tavares, like basically, like I was hearing like bring the band back, which is not what I wanted to hear from Berube.
He can't say anything else. He has to say that. He's not the one that makes the decisions on the team. And if the management decides to bring everybody back, he's got to work with these guys next year. So he can't come out and be like, God damn, I tell you something, boys. If that Mitch Marner's in a Leaf uniform next year, he can't say anything like that.
He was asked questions, Chad, about like the results in game 5, the results in game 7. And he was like, I don't have, like, he did give skirt around it as like,
he talked about cliche stuff.
Yes. Didn't have our game and blah, 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 this kind of shit. But like, he didn't really, well, he did at one point say like, I don't have it. I don't have the answers. I don't have the answers.
He didn't take responsibility.
No, he didn't. But like, just for the head coach to come out and say, I don't have the answers as to why these things happened in such pivotal games and such pivotal moments in these games, I don't have the answers. That's not a good look. That is not a good thing to say, in my opinion. I'm like, he's searching himself right now. He's like,
yeah, he basically said like the team was ready. Like he didn't see any signs that they would come out and play that way,
which is not accurate and not an accurate statement. They were not ready.
No, I know, but like leading up to the game, he didn't sense anything was wrong. He thought they were loose. He thought they looked good. But then they hit the ice.
He read it wrong.
He read that wrong huge. Then they hit the ice and they shit their pants. You know what I didn't like about the Berube thing? I did not like that he didn't take accountability. And I really didn't like the questions asked. I really didn't like the questions that were being asked of him.
Like
because
law balls?
Yeah, I'm like, what? Can you ask a few questions like, hey, after game 5, when you got shelled. You made some huge adjustments and shut down Florida in game 6. Florida made some huge adjustments in game 7, and you didn't do anything to combat it. Why?
Oh, well,
Why?
Chad, it's so hard. It's the pressure. It's so hard to play in Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Like
I'm glad that none of them bought into that.
The media,
because Florida threw that out there, and I'm so glad none of the players or the coach was like, they're right. It is a lot of pressure here.
Oh my God,
because that would have just
no icing on the cake, cherry on top, right there. But no, like, look,
but it's not about the pressure. It's about the systems that he's in charge of. Florida was rimming it around the boards in game 5, like hard, beating them to the puck. Toronto came up with like a system to beat that, and Florida adjusted in game 7. They stopped doing that, and they started doing different things. And Berube never adjusted. He never broke up his lines until it was way too late. He never did anything, and nobody asked him about it. Nobody asked him why.
You're 100% right. I think the media, if anything, I think the media is too soft on this fucking group. I think they're too soft. I am not a fan of Steve Simmons. Going over the years of this podcast, like anybody who's a longtime listener knows, we're not Simmons guys. But Simmons, I will say this about Simmons. He is literally the only one in that media group
that asks things that people are thinking.
Yes, he's the only fucking one. Masters won't do it. Chris Johnson won't. Like, LeBron maybe a little bit, but like still a little too soft. Steve Simmons, I will give him credit. I'm not a fan, but he is literally the only one that will try to dig a little deeper and get something a little more. So
and it sucks because I think most people shrug Simmons off.
Sure.
But so I wish some of the other guys would do it. Like some of the guys that are more, I don't want to say respected, but more liked by the Leaf organization.
Sure.
Because Simmons has a track record of doing some weird shit. I wish some of them would dig a little deeper. Like, why can't Chris Johnson or Jonas Siegel or Pierre LeBrun, these guys that are around the team all the time, I listen to them talk on the radio shows and on their podcast, and they have such in-depth analysis on what's going on. And then they get up to the podium and they're like, what was it like coaching Mitch this year? Like, what? Who gives a shit what it was like coaching Mitch?
I know, right?
What happened in game 7?
Exactly.
What happened in the dressing room in between the first and second period in game 7? Like, what happened? What did it look like? No.
Yes, sir.
We don't
100%.
Anyway,
100%.
I was just mad that the Berube just got let off the hook. He also took no responsibility and just walked away like you say. He didn't even give an answer. He's like, I don't know.
I don't know. We all don't know. We're all left.
None of them
us know. No, none of them know. None of them know. So that's not a good sign moving forward. But let's run through guys quickly. Mitch, I mean, he was basically talking in past tense. I've loved my time in Toronto and blah, blah, blah. It's over for this guy. Like, I don't want to spend a ton of time on Mitch, but like other than it's over, right? Like
that was the most real Mitch Marner's been in an interview.
He
wasn't putting on that fake tough hockey player thing. He was just real and honest about his time here in Toronto. He's done.
Any scenario where he's at training camp in September.
I mean, you have to say there's a percentage, and that would only be if, in my mind, it could only happen if Toronto makes the biggest offer to him, which they can do because, I guess they can't not on July 1st. But if they make the biggest offer and he feels like this is the right fit for him to stay, but I have a feeling like the Leafs are done.
Yeah, like, do you like? Are we not both in agreement that the ship has sailed on 16? It's over.
We are in agreement. But you're asking me if I think there's a chance.
Yeah,
and going by this Toronto Maple Leaf team, yeah, there's a chance.
Yeah, there's a chance.
Last 3 years, I didn't think there was a chance.
Like, would Tree Living potentially circle back? Maybe, but I don't.
He asked him twice to waive his no trade clause.
Yeah, so like that's a sign of like, yeah, Mitch, sorry, bud. Like,
they'll probably make an offer, but it'll be like
would they? Are they going to though?
I bet they'll make an offer that will be very underwhelming. Just to say you did it, right? Well, we offered. We made it.
Let's move on from Mitch. We both think he's gone, and I think we both think he should be gone. They need a different look here. And speaking of that, Tavares comes out and he says, well, good talk this morning with Tree and Berube. Like, we're optimistic, blah, blah, blah. Smoke and mirrors here, Chad? Or is like, do they want Tavares back at a reasonable number? What and do you?
I think I would want Tavares back as a third line winger.
I have a follow-up, and it's why.
Just because he, you get like he gives you a lot of good minutes and tries. But I don't want Tavares, but I want a Tavares where you're not on the first power play unit. You're not the second line center. You're not going to get big minutes. You're not going to get a big role. But you know what? He's great in the corners. You put him up against, as a shutdown guy, or you put him up against other teams' third line. I would move him to the wing so he doesn't have to skate as much. And I'd be like, that's what you are now. And if he wants to be a $9 million centerman, not here.
Do you think those discussions about the things you just mentioned, third line, off the top power play, these kind of things, do you think those discussions would be had before a new contract was reached? And before you, so simple answer, yes. Like, I saw him once again in the playoffs. I'm not going to shit all over JT here, but
he was terrible. He was terrible in round 2. He was terrible.
It's not enough. I saw him getting palmed in the face and his head ran into the glass, and he's just no fight. No fight. I'm sorry. There's no fucking fight.
There's no fight in any of them. That's the problem.
I know.
It's like you have the same personality throughout all 4 of them.
Of course.
Yeah, I would have the conversation. I'd be like, you're going to make this amount of money for this many years, and you're going to play the wing on the third line.
Okay, so simple.
But you get to stay in Toronto.
Simple yes and no to 2 questions for you. Simple yes or no to 2 questions. Will he be back? Do you want him back?
I think he will be back. I don't want him back.
I don't want him back. I think there's a strong chance that he will be back. Yeah. I don't want him back. I just want to look. They've got a chance to move. They've got a chance to move off him. 2 of the 4 fucking guys, move off them. Yeah. Move off them. Simple.
In the like you said, watching the playoffs and I just hated like the lack of emotion and grit that these guys would show, especially Tavares. Like, he just bugs me on the ice sometimes. When he's in the scrums, he just skates away. He never gets angry. He never gets mad. None of them do. So yeah, you're right. You have a chance to move off from 2 of them. Maybe you get a guy in there who can do the same thing as Tavares, like hard on puck, score 20 goals. But the difference is, if someone face washes him, he's going to get angry and he's going to do it back. Like, would you rather swap out them for 2 older versions of Matthew Nyes?
Oh, 100% 90% of the time, 100%. Only this time, 100%. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Like, even Pacioretty gave you more in the second round, maybe throughout the whole playoffs, than John Tavares. And the reason is he was different.
I think Pacioretty was, other than Nyes, I think he was their best forward. I think he was their best player.
And he didn't even play the first 2 games.
It's crazy. Okay, there's still a bunch I got to get to, and we're running out of time. Austin Matthews, quickly. We'll be back. We'll be back later in the week. We can backtrack and cover a few more of these things. Austin Matthews, 3 years left on his deal, Chad, I believe, after this year. So 3 years left, because he only signed a 4-year deal. 3 years left. That's the window. That's it for me. After that, I'm willing to, look, anything should be on the table here. If a trade, do I think they want to trade Austin? No, I don't think so. But wouldn't tell what the injuries were, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I was hurt. Won't tell you. Why won't you elaborate on it, Austin? Well, I don't have to. I don't love those answers. I don't like it. And for me, like, I'm giving this guy 3 years, and that's fucking it. That's the window now. I'm willing to keep Austin Matthews on the team for the remainder of this contract. If there is how they build around him, and we can get into that throughout the summer,
that's
whatever.
The thing. Don't build around him.
Well, he's never going to lead this team to a championship.
That was your problem before, is you built around some players instead of building a team. Like, you look at Florida. Who's Florida built around? Nobody.
It's six or 7 or 8 different guys.
Yeah, they're not built around those guys. They are just a team from top to bottom. Toronto was 4 forwards that are all the same, and then we build around that. I don't want them to build around anyone. I want them to build a team.
All the Leafs top guys are soft and all play the same way. All Florida's top guys are hard and all play the same way.
Not necessarily. Like, I wouldn't say Barkov is like a greasy, hard player. He's kind of like Matthews. Like, he's really good at faceoffs and defensive. He hits and he throws his body around, but I wouldn't say he's like Kachuk or Bennett. But they just have a different look.
Keep going. Reinhart,
no.
Jones.
Well, Reinhart's not like crazy.
Shows up though.
Did he? He didn't really play at all. He was terrible in the second round.
Big goal at a big time.
Okay, yeah, he had one goal or he had two big goals actually. So yeah, he a little different. I don't know. I just think Florida just has a great team. Like they have greasy guys, they have shutdown guys, they have guys that can score. They got a good goalie, they got solid defense. Where the Leafs have always been 4 nonchalant superstars, and then let's kind of paint around this.
So where I was going with that, the Matthews thing was anyway, he's got 3 years left on his deal. Are you willing to wait that out? And then my ultimate question is, this is it. 3 years, they do it or they don't. And then would you have an appetite for blowing it up? I'm keeping Nyes, build around Cowan, other guys. I know there's like you look at a lot of the defense, McCabe's contract ends in like 2 or 3 years, whatever. Like after Matthews, do you know what I'm saying? Would you have an appetite for we have to blow this up and start not a full rebuild like they did last time when Shanny took over, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think you're going to hit that point anyway, because your team's not young. Like Matthews, Nylander, these guys aren't rookies anymore. They're pushing 30 now. So at the end of their contracts, they're going to be like mid-30s. Tavares will be retired by that point. Like your defense will be old and done. So, yeah, I have an appetite for it because I don't think you're going to have a choice at the end of Matthews' contract.
Yep. Okay. Nye's extension looked like today he was, he said all the right things. I don't think with the cap going up,
I would do that before I do anything else.
Oh, like I'll throw it out there right now. I think your 23 is potentially going to be the next captain of this hockey team. I'm not talking tomorrow or next year, but when they finally decide that they got to flip this thing over.
Wouldn't that be crazy? We'd have back-to-back captains from the desert.
Well, I'll tell you, one of them might be able to lead us where we want to go. I'm not sure the other one can, and I think everybody can figure out who the fuck I'm talking about. Let's not get into Nylander. We're running long here. I know you got to go shortly. Riley, I would do everything in my ability to trade Morgan Riley this offseason. The other 5 defensemen are still under contract. A Morgan Riley trade, what do you think that looks like? You want to see that happen?
Yeah, I think it's doable too.
Is it not time for this guy? Fresh start? Is it not time?
The cap's going up. He makes $7.5 million, so you probably get rid of him, and you could probably find someone who would take him. And yeah, it's time. He hasn't looked good. Let's be perfectly honest. He had a good playoff in 2023 against Tampa Bay Lightning. He has not looked good since then.
His regular seasons, the last couple of years, terrible.
And he's slower. He's a defensive liability.
A couple big moments this year, Chad, in the playoffs, but overall,
really, like,
no,
yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And I'm sick and tired of like always trying to find someone to play with them. Like, I wish we could just build our defense however we want. I wish we could just put the best 6 together instead of being like, well, this guy has to play with Morgan Riley. Because if he doesn't, nobody can. So I'm kind of tired of that. I'm just tired of the whole core.
Yeah.
So I'm really not sad. I wouldn't even be sad if they traded Austin Matthews. Like, as much as he's done for the organization, the 69 goals, the first overall draft pick, the first one I've ever seen in my life, next to Clark.
Yep.
I wouldn't be mad if they were like, we're moving on.
Well, the whole thing with Matthews, man, the way I see it is that, like, he is not capable of leading this team to a championship. He's not a Crosby. He's not a McKinnon. He's not a McDavid. I know McDavid hasn't done it yet, but like he might figure it out. But
but I mean, he's way closer.
The list goes on. Ovechkin, like name leaders that have led their team to championships. He's way closer to what? What is he close to?
No, McDavid is.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You were saying McDavid hasn't won a cup yet.
Oh no, I thought you said
he's a lot closer.
No, I thought you were referring to 34.
No,
I'm
McDavid's a lot closer than 34 is.
Yeah, like he just
every year McDavid's there.
He doesn't seem to be able to like just lead the right way to like, I'm the best player on the team. Follow me. Let's go. I'm going to lead us there. It just doesn't, I just don't see that out of this guy anyway. I will throw. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say maybe not having 16 there, like maybe having different people around you. Like if he had Nyes on his wing and then a big truck of a right winger, he might be a different player.
Okay, maybe. Is it like we can get into UFOs or UFOs?
UFOs.
I feel like I'm in outer space. I feel like I'm in the fucking Twilight
We could do
Zone.
an episode on like UFOs and alien abductions and anal probes and stuff if you want.
Watching these guys, I feel like I'm in fucking outer space. I meant UFAs. We can down the line here. We can do a,
Speaking of which, I read that Fire in the Sky, that movie from the 90s with DB Sweeney, based on the true story, is fake.
Oh, well, okay.
Just so everyone listening knows, I grew up loving that movie, and then I found out the guy was lying who wrote the story.
Okay.
Anyway, what else you got?
Okay, quickly.
Yep.
There's more we can get to, but like I guess, go out on this. So guys under contract for next year, Domi, McMahon, Holmberg, Lawton, I expect them all to still be in the mix, although maybe not.
No, you could move off of some of them.
Yes, they could.
You had how many million did you have sitting in the press box?
Yep.
Reeves, Camp, Robertson.
Yep. Well, I was going to get Domi, McMahon, Holmberg, Lawton, Camp, Yarncroc, Lawrence, Pacioretty, Robertson. I mean,
you can
half of
those
are half of those guys back and half of them not. I would say that's probably a 50-50. Like half of them, maybe yes, half of them like Camp.
Well, I mean, we got all summer to figure that out.
No, I know, but like, do you not think like it's not okay? Okay.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. I gotta hit the road, so we'll wrap it up. But listen,
just quickly, last thing I want to throw to you.
It's always quickly.
No, it is quickly. Last thing is Mitch Marner. If Mitch Marner is the only one gone, and Austin and Willie and JT come back, is that enough of change for you that the result will be any different next year?
Depends on who comes in.
Okay, fair. That's fair to say.
If you get two similar players, no. But if you get two different players, maybe.
Okay, fair.
I mean, either way, September's going to roll around. They're going to suck me back in. They're going to make me believe it's different. Well, it happens every time. Yeah, but listen, we will be back. So we don't know. I think it's going to be Thursday, maybe Friday. That managers are going to talk. That's what I'm really interested in.
Well, what are they talking about behind the scenes right now?
That's what I mean. The locker cleanout is so cliche. Like, I hate it, but I love when the managers talk, because that's when usually somebody's fired at those.
Well,
so at least Shanahan might not even show up to the podium, but we'll find out. We'll be back after that. And until next time, I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
And we will.
Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. We will see you after the Leafs management speaks, third press conference later in the week. We'll catch you later. You're listening to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast with your hosts, Chad and Dale.